Today I'm taking this 8-foot wall behind me and turning it into this giant modular French cleat setup. Most of my tools are buried in toolboxes, tool bags, drawers, and if I'm being honest, when they're out of sight, they really don't get used. And you really just end up working around them instead of with them. I'm starting by breaking down the plywood for the French cleat wall. I went with birch, but you can just about use any plywood you want. Birch just kind of does something for me. First, I ripped the full 4x8 sheet in half, mostly because it's a lot easier to handle myself. Plus, I kind of like keeping all my fingers. From there, I'll rip the whole sheet into 5-inch strips, and then those 5-inch strips will get reduced down to 2 3/4 inches with a 45-degree angle on one side. That gives us plenty of strength without turning the wall into overkill. And if you want to build this exact setup and still need a little bit of help along the way, I do have full plans available for a complete 4x8 French cleat tool wall system with material list, cut list, layout, and spacing already figured out. I set the table saw to 45 degrees. I'm splitting each 5-inch strip down the middle, which gives me 2 pieces at roughly 2 3/4 inches on the long side, minus the blade thickness, of course. This is one of those cuts we got to make sure accuracy actually matters. So I'm using a digital angle finder to dial in this blade. I'll link the exact one I'm using in the description below. And for those of you that don't know what a French cleat is, it's a cleat with a 45-degree angle on it. One piece gets mounted to the wall, angle up. The other goes onto your cabinet or your tool organizer, angle down. And when they go together, gravity just pulls them even tighter. There's no hardware carrying the weight. It's really just the angle that does the work. Simple design, but incredibly strong. I built this French cleat a while ago, and this is actually a pull-out organizer that I use all the time. Small French cleat on the back, holds all my fasteners. I've got the blocks on the lower side to keep everything level once it's set. You can take these out, take it wherever you want to work. And then when you're done with it, you just drop it back on, slide it in. So French cleats can be great tool organizers. They can be great for your fasteners and that kind of thing. So I use them as much as I can in my shop. Plus, it takes up way less space when you do it properly. Let's get back to cutting these cleats. Quick safety note here, guys. After cutting that 45-degree angle on a table saw, that edge is razor sharp. Straight off the table saw, it'll get you every time. So here I'm just taking 100 grit sandpaper so I can sand this edge down. It doesn't change the fit at all, it just saves your hand. So it's definitely worth the extra couple minutes to not skip this step and just sand those edges down. Alright, before mounting anything, we've got to do some prep on the wall that is going on. You can go ahead and mount French cleats directly to drywall as long as you're hitting studs. That works just fine. Grab a stud finder and mark all your studs. I like mounting a full 4x8 sheet of plywood first, then gluing and fastening the cleats on top of that. I just think it looks cleaner, and it also gives you a solid continuous backing to work off of. Now in my shop, I'm dealing with stucco. I know this is a little odd for inside of a shop, but that's what I got. I know there's plywood behind it, so I'm using 1x4 strapping first, fastening through the stucco with a number 10, 2 3/4 inch screw, making sure I grab solid backing. One row on top, one in the center, and one at the bottom. From there, the plywood mounts to the strapping. Same idea, just one extra step. Now instead of stopping at one wall, I'm going to wrap this French cleat around the corner here. I've got another extra 6 feet on the wall adjacent to it. The main wall will be 8 feet wide, then continue another 6 feet down the next wall. That'll give me about 14 feet of continuous tool storage. Same spacing, same layout, just keeps the whole system working together. And once it's up, everything can move anywhere along the wall, even around the corner, which will be kind of cool. And because I'm working by myself, I'm going to take a couple of the scrap cutoffs we had from the other side. I'm just going to drill a couple holes in there, mount one there, one on that side, and that will allow the full sheet of plywood to rest on that. The seam is good all the way down until we hit the bottom. I guess the wall kind of takes off on the inside there. I'm just going to pull that out a bit with a shim. And that just closes that gap up tight. Cut that shim flush with the bottom. Okay, with the plywood mounted, it's time to start laying out the wall cleats. I start with the first cleat at the bottom, about 3 inches up from the bottom sheet of the plywood. Take your time here, long level, glue on the back, and tack it into place with 1.5-inch brad nails. This bottom cleat is the most important one. As long as it is dead level, everything above it stays true. From there, I'm just going to use 3 1x4 blocks I have as spacers. You can just as easily use 2x4s. I'm using these just because I had them left over from our cutoffs on our strapping. Just set the blocks on top of the first cleat, drop the next one on in, glue it, tack it, and work your way up the wall. As long as that first cleat was leveled properly, every cleat above it stays level automatically. Simple system, just don't rush the first one. All right, these ones are a little smaller, 74 and 7/8. I'll cut them down on the chop saw. All right, so we got all our cleats on. You can, at this stage, go ahead and just start building your modular systems to hold the tools that you have. I'm gonna take it a step further. I like to be a little bit different than the rest of the internet when it comes to the things I build. So I'm gonna add a top shelf here. It'll be dual purpose shelf to hold things, but also I'm gonna add some lighting underneath this. Anytime I can add lighting in my shop, because it's also my studio, it's gonna help. What I did was cut a shelf at 11 1/4. I'll be face plating that with a 3/4 inch piece of face trim, and that'll bring it out to a full 12-inch shelf with lighting underneath. Lay our shelf up on the top. Then we want to take a measurement from the plywood to the edge of the shelf, which in our case is 9 3/4 inches. That's what we will cut our angle piece at. And then we need to know our distance from the bottom of the shelf to the top of our first cleat, 5 inches. All right, so we got our 5 inches in height, and we've got our 9 3/4 inches long. To figure out this angle, my face plate's gonna be 3.5 inches. Our plywood on top is 3/4 inches up here. So we want a bit of an overhang on the top, and we want our bottom to match our angle down here. What it works out to be is 2.5 inches. That point, draw your line from this corner to your 2.5 inch mark, and that becomes your angle. And then once your faceplate goes on, everything lines up. All right, so that angle works out to be 14 degrees. It's gonna differ between 14, 15, 16, depending on your cleat layout. Change your angle to 14 on the other side. Come to the corner again. Then we can go and square off our saw again. Cut your bottom line. All right, so I went and ordered a couple of these RAB lights. They're just a 4-foot LED, and they are programmable to 3,000, 4,000, and 5,000 Kelvin. So if you want bright light or a warm light, you can set it to that. You can see right here, there's an adjustment, 5,000, 4,000, 3,000. Hang it up in here like this, and that'll cast a nice light onto all of our tools. This is 5,000 K pretty bright. This is 4,000 and then 3,000. I'm kind of thinking I like the 3,000, a little less light, more warm. But let me know in the comments below what you think. 5,000, 4,000, or 3,000 Kelvin. And that's it. The wall is done. Solid, flexible, and easy to change as the shop grows. Now, if you want to build this exact setup, I've got you covered with full plans available for the 4x8 wall in the description below. And if you want to see this wall actually take shape, make sure you're subscribed. I'll be building a whole series of French cleat tool holders that'll live right here. Thanks for watching, guys. We'll see you on the next one.